fire the living shit out of the Indiana Fever. So Indiana Fever, and it's been my belief that they will freaking fire everyone. And I do believe this. So if you're a Fever fan and you're hoping they'll keep Caitlin Clark, it's my belief that when push comes to shove, there's no way they can let her get away. They will fire everybody and start over. That's my belief. I cannot imagine the level of fumbling the bag that would have to be done.
The Indiana Fever are on the verge of committing the biggest blunder in sports history. They have Caitlin Clark, a player who single-handedly reinvented their league's popularity overnight, but they seem determined to break her. With a coach making baffling decisions and a team that looks completely lost, the millions of fans Clark brought with her are now threatening a mass exodus. This isn't just a rookie's growing pains, this is a franchise in self-destruct mode, and the fallout could be catastrophic.
What has Caitlin Clark meant to the WNBA?
Everything. She's changed the dynamic and history forever for women.
I see a lot of young girls here today, and I see how inspired they are, and she's even gotten me back into basketball.
I think she has brought attention. She did it for us. We had never watched, and we have become big fans.
I don't think her contributions have been extreme as what people think they are. I think the league in itself has been getting better, and that's really what we should be focusing on.
I think she's brought a lot of attention to the WNBA, and it's needed.
I think it's great. I actually grew up watching the WNBA, so it's really exciting to see a resurgence.
She meant everything. I never watched it before.
Caitlin Clark's arrival in the WNBA wasn't a splash, it was a tidal wave. Before her, the league was fighting for airtime. After her, it was smashing viewership records on a weekly basis. Arenas that once had empty seats were now sold-out spectacles, with opposing teams moving their games to larger NBA stadiums just to accommodate the demand. Merchandise sales skyrocketed over 500%, with her number 22 jersey becoming a cultural icon worn by everyone from grandmothers to hip-hop superstars. She wasn't just another rookie, she was a phenomenon, a one-woman media empire who made women's basketball the hottest ticket in sports. The league didn't just get a new star, it got a new engine, and the entire enterprise suddenly kicked into hyperdrive.
Example, and there's enough votes here. This is a good test to see how bad this would be. Swag put this out, and it's starting to make the rounds. I voted. Okay, Fever fans, answer this. If Caitlin leaves Fever, would you still support the Fever? We got 1,145 votes here. Nope, my bags are packed is far and away leading.
But here's the terrifying truth for the Indiana Fever. That engine isn't loyal to the car. A fan poll recently sent shockwaves through the sports world when it asked a simple question. If Caitlin leaves the Fever, would you still support the team? An overwhelming 79% of fans responded with a resounding, nope, my bags are packed. These aren't casuals, they are the converts, the millions who tuned in for the first time because of her. Their loyalty isn't to the city of Indianapolis or the Fever logo, it's to Caitlin. They are a portable nation of supporters, ready to book flights and buy new gear the second she trades her jersey. This isn't fandom, it's a hostage situation, and the Fever's management seems to be daring their most valuable asset to cut the cord.
All for letting her cook. Me dinner.
I'm buying Powerade stock.
Is it a play on, like, women shouldn't? No, they didn't do it on purpose. There's no way. How you came up with this and not in the back of your minds, like, oh, they're just gonna be like, oh, it's women, she just needs to cook. Didn't think about that in the PR room. I'm a big advocate of letting.
At the heart of the chaos is head coach Christy Sides, whose in-game decisions have left fans and analysts utterly bewildered. It's become a painful, predictable pattern. Clark will be on a roll, hitting deep threes and dishing out assists, only to be inexplicably benched during crucial moments of the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, other players can shoot bricks all night, going 2 for 14 from the field and receive nothing but encouragement to keep shooting. For Clark, however, one contested shot can lead to a lecture. The message, intended or not, feels clear. A double standard is in play. This isn't the strategic nurturing of a superstar. It looks more like a deliberate attempt to put her in a box, and fans are watching in furious disbelief.
Boy, listen, NBA players make 50% of revenues. WNBA players make 9%. And now the merch sales are up 500% and attendance is up, 40%. So they're going to get a raise. There's no question. And I don't really care that the previous 25 years, they didn't make a lot of money or lost money. I don't care. They're in the middle of a negotiation and they're on a heater. So it doesn't really matter. I've said this before. I made an investment for 5 years and it lost money, and I got about 6 months left in the investment, and in the last 6 months they started making cash, I'm not bailing on the investment. I want to finally get my money back. So they're going to get a raise. They're finally turning a corner. But and negotiating in any business is all about current momentum. It's not about 12 years ago. It's about current momentum.
This has sparked a darker theory that's gaining traction online. Is this calculated sabotage? Is there a conscious effort to humble the rookie who arrived with more hype and a bigger paycheck than anyone in the league's history? Fans scream, "Let her cook," but every time she gets the offense sizzling, it feels like the coaching staff yanks the pan off the heat. The game plan often seems designed to run through anyone but their most explosive player. You can't build your entire marketing campaign around a supernova and then treat her like a role player during the actual game. It's a baffling contradiction that suggests a deeper philosophical clash between a coach's rigid system and a phenom who is a system unto herself.
Caitlin Clark is a media driver. She is a ratings driver. I think about the NBA post Magic and Larry, the NBA post Michael Jordan, tennis post Serena Williams, golf post Tiger Woods, right? There are certain athletes that drive the sport more than others. And that's not to take away from anyone else drafted tonight. That's not to take away from the other incredible superstars in the WNBA right now.
The tension is visible on the court. Clark has been the target of relentless physical aggression from opponents. A welcome to the league treatment turned into a nightly gauntlet. But what's more alarming is the often tepid response from her own team. The viral clips of hard fouls followed by delayed or non-existent support from her teammates have fueled a narrative of a locker room that hasn't fully embraced its new centerpiece. The awkward body language in huddles and the frustrated expressions tell a story of a team that isn't gelling. It suggests a cold war is brewing, a quiet resistance to the Caitlin Clark show from within the very walls that are supposed to support her.
The t-shirts don't bother me, but why do you take a shot at the Golden Goose, Caitlin Clark? You guys were flying before she arrived on one of those airlines that made you pay for a cup of water. One of those airlines that is the planes are the color of a highlighter. Now you're flying private. Okay, if you're in a band and you're staying at the Motel 6 and you add a band member and now you're at the Ritz-Carlton, keep your issues to yourself.
This internal drama was amplified on a national scale with the shocking decision to leave Clark off the US Olympic team. While the committee talked about chemistry and experience, the public saw it as a slap in the face. The argument that she needed to wait her turn felt like a flimsy excuse from an old guard determined to protect its turf. It was seen as yet another institution pushing back against a disruptive force they couldn't control. The Olympic snub validated the fears of many fans. The resistance to Clark wasn't just in Indiana, it was a league-wide phenomenon, and it made the situation with the Fever feel even more precarious.
He's 23. I'm going to pass on that question, actually. WNBA star Caitlin Clark is transforming women's sports. She fills arenas night after night, and her games have smashed TV viewership records. And if you watch Clark play, well, it's not hard to figure out why. She makes deep three-pointers look easy. And like all stars, wants the ball when the game is on the line.
The resistance isn't just physical, it's verbal. Before the season even began, veteran legends were firing warning shots, with Diana Taurasi famously predicting that reality is coming for the college star. These comments set the stage for a league-wide narrative of the old guard versus the new wave. Pundits and players have openly debated whether the intense focus on Clark is disrespectful to the veterans who built the league. Every hard foul is analyzed through a lens of potential jealousy. This isn't just basketball anymore. It's a battle for the soul of the WNBA, fought in press conferences and on sports talk shows, pitting the established hierarchy against a rookie who accidentally became more powerful than the institution itself.
And I think it's like something where if you are a star in the WNBA, like Caitlin Clark, she's probably one of the few people that anybody you can mention to somebody that knows sports will know Caitlin Clark. Yeah. She's getting a ton of deals. Coke, Gatorade, you name Nike deals. Now, I know a lot of the other players, like if you're the 12th person on the team, you're probably not making that much money, but I just feel like coming out like this, what are they going to bargain with? What is their like thing they're coming with that's going to change their salary? And that's what I was trying to figure out. I couldn't understand because they're already rev sharing. The NBA already gives them money, compensates for the loss they make every year because they lose 50.
While the on-court drama unfolds, a completely different story is being told in corporate boardrooms. Nike signed Clark to a monumental $28 million shoe deal. Wilson sold more basketballs in the months after she was drafted than in the entire previous year. Gatorade and State Farm have made her the face of their national campaigns. The league and its sponsors are marketing her as a revolutionary figure, a transcendent star. Yet this billion-dollar marketing machine is completely disconnected from the on-court reality. How can you sell a player as the future of basketball while her own coach benches her in crunch time? The league is cashing checks that Caitlin Clark's popularity is riding, while the team itself seems determined to devalue the asset. It's a PR dream colliding with an on-court nightmare.
Female bird. She had Van Slugenhagen on her. She was like, I'm offended that y'all have white defensive players guarding me, and she put her in the torture chamber. You should have known from her little face that she didn't want this matchup from the beginning. Caitlin reminds me of what Dame does. If anybody ever noticed, her first shot, always a three. First quarter, second quarter, third. She sets the distance on her first shot, so you have to guard her there. Now she can do whatever she wants to do. She's playing a chess game. That's what Dame does. He starts his game off. He's gonna shoot a deep-ass three to force.
Through it all, Caitlin Clark herself has become a master of public composure. In every post-game interview, she is poised, professional, and says all the right things about trusting the process and getting better. But on the court, the mask slips. Viewers see the frustrated shrugs after a broken play, the exasperated looks toward the bench, and the constant pleading conversations with referees. She is fighting a war on three fronts, against brutally physical opponents, against a seemingly illogical game plan from her own team, and against officiating that often leaves her unprotected. She is carrying the weight of a league, the hopes of millions of fans, and the resentment of her peers, all while being expected to smile for the cameras. It is grace under immense fire, but everyone is wondering just how long one person can withstand that heat.
WNBA before Caitlin Clark and the WNBA after Caitlin Clark. Describe these two worlds.
Oh, it entirely different. 180, you know. The WNBA before started in 1997, the year after the Atlanta Olympics, and was launched into a time when women's sports was still not taken seriously by a lot of, people. And some of those same guys now, if we want to talk about before and after, some of those same guys, or guys like them, are the ones buying the 22 jerseys, wearing them to games, Major, but also to the grocery store and to the gas station. It is now cool to be a WNBA fan, and it is cool to love Caitlin Clark and the spotlight that is finally shining on these players.
Lost in the storm is Aaliyah Boston, last year's one pick and the reigning Rookie of the Year. She was supposed to be the Fever's savior, the cornerstone around whom the franchise would be built. Now, she's the other star in a solar system designed for one sun. The on-court chemistry between Clark and Boston has been clunky at best, leading to speculation that the coaching staff is trying to force-feed an interior-focused offense to keep Boston happy, directly conflicting with Clark's desire to run and shoot. It adds another tragic layer to the drama. This isn't just about a team resisting a rookie, it's about a franchise that suddenly had two queens and no idea how to build a functional kingdom.
Talk about the Olympics now.
On the night that I broke the news, someone read me the list that Caitlin Clark was not on the Olympic team, which was June 7th. She had just had 30 points and 7 threes against Washington in an amazing game. And bottom line on this is they did not want her on the team. There was either a sense that she needs to wait her turn. They wanted to give Diana Taurasi the going away present. Name another time when you would ever give an athlete the going away present with an Olympic berth. Outrageous. So Caitlin said, hey, it's okay. And in interviews, she said, it's all right, I'll make it the next time. Well, in the book, I have a wonderful anecdote from then.
And so the countdown has already begun. Clark is locked into a 4-year rookie contract, but general managers across the league are watching this situation like vultures. Don't think for a second that super teams like the Las Vegas Aces or the New York Liberty aren't already mapping out a future with her in their uniform. They see a generational talent being squandered and a fan base that's ready to be poached. A trade might seem unlikely now, but if the dysfunction in Indiana continues, the pressure from Clark's camp and her legion of fans could become immense. For them, this isn't about loyalty to a team that won the lottery. It's about getting their superstar to a franchise that knows how to treat royalty.
I was mesmerized
by her. And I will tell you this. This was the greatest performance I've ever seen in the NCAA tournament, girl or boy. Greatest performance.
On this biggest stage.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because rarely does a game like this live up to its hype.
Yeah.
You know, rarely do you have the two superstars play like superstars, because you got to understand the scout report is geared to stop you. You know, all the hype coming into this is going to be people who've never watched a girls' basketball game watched. A lot of people watched for the first.
That'd be fine if her way was producing championships. Instead, it's producing late-game melt.
The Indiana Fever are standing at a historic crossroads. They hold the future of their franchise, and to a large extent, the WNBA's explosive growth in their hands. But this is bigger than one team now. The mishandling of Caitlin Clark has exposed fault lines throughout the league between veterans and rookies, between business ambitions and on-court culture, and even between 2-1 picks on the same roster. They were given a gift that could have secured their relevance for a decade. Instead, they are on the verge of becoming a legendary cautionary tale. The question is no longer if Caitlin's army of fans will follow her out the door, but whether the entire WNBA ecosystem is ready for the revolution that it prayed for, but now seems terrified to embrace.